Welcome. I'll be reacting to Black Narcissus, the 1947 version. I don't know too much about this. I think it's about some sisters. This is not a market substitute. Support the original. Ooh, the London Symphony Orchestra. The decor looks like a convent so far. We tended to have a lot of mismatched stuff, along with beautiful artwork.
And you have been appointed to take charge of St. Faith.
I, Reverend Mother?
You. The agent at Mopu is an Englishman.
A palace? Nice.
The peaks on the range opposite are nearly as high as Everest.
Oh my goodness. Bring lots of wool coats.
Mopu Palace stands in the wind on a shelf on the mountain.
Look at the set/location.
If you must come, bring some warm things with you.
Yes.
She lives there alone, with the ghosts of bygone days.
I love wind, and I used to think that was fairly normal until I started talking to people, and apparently a lot of people don't like really windy days. I'll deliberately go and stand outside when it's super windy. So I'm curious, post in the comments, do you love wind? Does it annoy you? What a gorgeous set! And just living there, kind of doing whatever you want. Awesome. Now that is a palace for birds. Look at this room! So the palace used to be a really lively place.
We are bound to our order only by yearly vows. I explained this rule to him.
Yes, Reverend Mother.
For more than a century.
So perpetually temporary vows, interesting. But temporary vows, I thought, were a minimum of 3 years, not 1. There was another set of vows that you would take directly, I think, to the bishop. So you could be a celibate, but not a sister. But this isn't like that. Very odd.
Forgive me for saying so, Reverend Mother, but do you think our vocation is her vocation?
Yes.
How do you solve a problem like Ruth?
I don't think you're ready for it. And I think you'll be lonely.
Wow.
Never forget, we are an order of workers.
So they're definitely an apostolic order then. Okay. Oh, the fabric plus the wind is going to look really good on film. You would think a few people would come just out of pure curiosity. She is having way too much fun just ringing the bell all day. Can't really blame her.
The schoolroom's full of them already. The little ones are
Really?
so sweet. Some of them could scarcely do more than toddle.
He's the son of the General's cook. He's going to interpret for you. He speaks English.
Aww.
Oh.
Would you like to see my books and my bedding ready, sister? They were paid to come in, so they can't go away.
Paid?
Oh, I see.
Sister, the General's clerk has orders to pay everybody who comes to my dispensary.
Yes, but if they like it this time, they may come again.
What can you do with them?
You can do a lot with people even if you don't know the language.
I'll draw
Yeah, you
things
can
on
draw.
some coloured chalk. And they can tell me
See?
their name for it. And I'll tell them English.
Sister Honey seems like the nicest so far. That and the gardening sister, I don't know her name yet.
I'm the General's agent. He welcomes you to Mopu. Understood you wanted to see me.
We want to talk to you on business.
I didn't suppose you want to talk to me on anything else.
Oh, that look.
Nothing is
Is
impossible.
yours a contemplative order? I mean, do you live in meditation or whatever you call it?
No, they're not a contemplative order.
Our order isn't in the least like that.
The juxtaposition of the paintings and the crucifixes. At least there won't be too many bugs up there. They're high up, lots of wind. Small advantages. Oh, I love that cape.
All the unpacking's still to be done, and the plumbing's broken down again.
Oh dear.
What do you think,
Now
sister?
that is serious.
Perhaps Mr. Dean
Certainly not. We can manage without Mr. Dean.
Well, if she wasn't so prickly with him, he might be able to help.
You!
How do you do?
So he is helping.
What are you doing here?
I've come to mend a loose joint in your pipe.
You must send a plumber.
The nearest one's Darjeeling.
I forbid you to stay in there.
Why not? I don't know why they're being so hostile.
Come in, Mr. Dean.
May I go now, sister?
Without discipline, we should all behave like children.
Oh, don't you like children?
That is a good question. She is here starting a school. And she seems a little bit antagonistic towards children.
Talking of medicine, Sister Bryony, if you get a bad case, one that seems to you as though it might be dangerous or even serious, don't take it. How are you feeling, all of you?
Not very well. Sister Ruth is the worst.
Why did he put his cup on the floor when there's a table right there? Oh,
Right,
that was
sister.
gallant of him.
I hope your patient does well. I'm very much obliged to you.
Thank you.
Oh. Hopefully it's not too windy up there and blows her over. How are the candles not blowing out?
Bayonet.
Uh-oh. Ruth is smitten. She is clearly not afraid of heights.
And after a bit, it doesn't seem to matter whether I plant it or not. It's this place with its strange atmosphere and new people. Work until you're too tired to think of anything else.
Oh my. Yeah, overworking is not a solution when you're not feeling well. Oh, flashbacks.
I want to stay here like this for the rest of my life.
What happened? Why did she enter a convent? It's true though, wide outdoor spaces tend to make you really think. And you can either embrace that or let it terrify you. It looks like she was some sort of aristocrat. That could explain some of her attitude.
Convents are for girls, the brotherhoods are for men.
Aww,
Jesus Christ was a man.
well, that's a good point.
5 a.m. to 7 a.m. algebra with the mathematical sister. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. religion, especially Christianity, with the scriptural sister. 10 a.m. art. 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. French and Russian with the French and Russian sisters, if any. 3 p.m.
He is so adorable.
What do you want to do about it?
I want you to ask the general to ask the holy man to move.
Couldn't do that. It wouldn't be polite.
I don't suppose the general even
He's
knows he's
right
there.
there.
Oh, yes, he does. I've never heard him talk. They say he speaks perfect English. Several other European languages, too.
So why are you talking like this in front of him? It's very impolite, especially when he's way older and wiser than you are.
Well, I really don't know what to do.
What would Christ have done?
Ah, probably sat right down with him.
Do you like it, Sister Ruth? It's called Black Narcissus. Comes
Oh,
from the Army Navy
that's what
stores
Black
in London.
Narcissus is.
Black Narcissus. I don't like scent at all.
Oh, sister, don't you think it's rather common to smell of ourselves?
These emeralds are for you, my darling, when you marry.
That's a lot of pressure to put on her to marry, though. Oh. The interpreter kid is just... I love him. He's stealing the whole film. And he's really observant. Like, I feel like he knows a lot more about what's going on than anyone else. He has a decent singing voice. Ooh. But not a ring. It is so satisfying putting candles out like that. I actually bought one for my home that's much smaller.
We don't usually speak of him so casually.
And you should. He should be casual and as much a part of life as your daily bread.
He has some good points, because that was what Jesus was like. He went around with the normal people.
You're objectionable when you're sober and abominable when you're drunk.
Because he's actually right, and you should listen to him. Yeah, I'm on his side, honestly. He's been nothing but helpful. The sisters are just like so full of themselves and unwilling to learn about other cultures.
I'm worried. Don't you think you could tell me about it?
We were trained to tell people if we fell in love as a sister because you need to have support with that.
Listen to me. I don't know. I can't decide now what to make of you. I shall have to think. And I want you to think too.
I've heard that speech before from a nun.
I shan't look at the letter, and her reply will be your own business.
I might write 2 or 3 pages.
This is giving me flashbacks
You may go.
to some of my experiences. Can we just make the movie about him, please? Just, he's the best part. God is actually quite beautiful. She has talent. And patience.
And the cabbage patch?
Foxgloves.
And the runner beans?
Honeysuckle.
Foxgloves are poisonous. You can't eat them.
Sister, I want to be transferred. Either you must live like Mr. Dean or like the holy man.
She is thinking of leaving.
Shall we give him magnesia? Or some of the paraffin emulsion?
They were warned not to take the hard cases.
I do hope nothing's happened.
You didn't listen to the advice.
Tell us.
The little baby is dead.
Because I loved him, because I couldn't bear to see him die. I did it, I killed him.
She might do something drastic. She's gonna throw it on the ground. Mm-hmm. What a shot. I know that's a matte painting, but wow.
Yes, we're all human, aren't we?
Oh dear.
And I found out he was going to America to his uncle. And he didn't intend to take me.
Oh, he left her.
I had to get away first.
But she was just running away.
And this morning I had a letter from Reverend Mother. Sister Ruth is giving up the order. She has not renewed her vows.
Oh, I see.
We must all get away before something happens.
Oh, I think it's already happened. You know, if they gave up their holier than thou attitude, I feel like a lot of these problems would go away. That's what she ordered. I figured it was clothes.
You have nothing to do with me anymore. That's what you would like to do. Send me back and shut me up. That's what you would all like to do.
You know that isn't true.
Pretty sure it is, actually. This is tense. I still think she might harm herself, though. I'm worried. Being in a convent can really get inside your head. At least she has sensible footwear. She was aware enough to not wear the nicer shoes and put the boots on.
I'm sorry, Sister Ruth. Very sorry, but... Look, let me take you back to the palace. Come on, I'll come with you.
I'll go alone.
Hopefully he was following her at a discreet distance. She did not look well. The lighting is really good in this. Whoa. Oh, Ruth is going to try and push her off the cliff, I think. And then in the struggle, she'll fall herself because she's not well. Pretty sure that's what's about to happen. And you know what? I can kind of understand it too. I didn't have a feeling this intense, but I had a similar one as I left. The more compelling aspect of this film is the relationship between these two. And I kind of wish that they had concentrated more on that. Not a good day to stand near the edge. See how we had that ruddy, almost blood-colored light right there? I think it's foreshadowing. Whoa. Oof. She was just praying to Mary, though. I feel like Mary will help her. They're leaving. I think it's for the best. They were not suited for this place. They weren't willing to change themselves.
Will you do one last thing for me?
I love how the horse is just yawning in the foreground.
Of course I'll do it.
I think they're miniature horses, not ponies. I'm not sure though. There he goes again. It's so cute.
Goodbye.
Here comes the rain. They made it until the rain. Sometimes I really prefer the older version of the film because they have really good direction style, like this one did, and interesting locations and a different perspective than modern filmmakers have. But once in a while, there's so many problematic elements to them. Don't get me started about certain choices with the makeup and the casting in this, for example, that it becomes so disturbing that even though I completely understand it is a product of its era, I'm a modern audience watcher and it's just too much. A lot of the elements of this film were just a little too much. A product of their era is the kind way of putting it. I think there's a newer version of this. I'm guessing that version actually cast POC actors and had a more understanding outlook on the location and culture. And I know I'm probably going to get slammed in the comments for being too woke or whatever, but you know what? In certain circumstances, like I think this storyline, you need the immersive understanding elements of having actual actors from the area. And that was missing here, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm sorry. And despite a pretty amazing performance from the two main sisters, they couldn't save it, in my opinion. Setting aside all the issues of the setting and the way they handled it in the 40s, we'll just put that over here in a cupboard for a moment. The sisters themselves, I like that they had a variety of them with different personalities and personal issues. A lot of them were thinking of leaving for various reasons. And I think whoever wrote the original novel at least talked to some former sisters, or was really good at putting themselves in the shoes of the situation. Because there was some dialogue in here and some moments where I was like, oh my goodness, I have been in that room, sitting in that chair, hearing that. I had some really good experiences as a sister. I did. Some of the best moments of my life, and some of the worst. The most painful, I won't go into detail, but I was very gaslit in one situation similar to this. Nobody was listening to me. I was actually sent to a counselor because I was apparently broken, not fitting in, walked too loud. Really? And they were supposed to fix me. A few weeks of sessions of me just explaining situations that were happening and conversations like we overheard here in this movie. One day the counselor was just looked up from their notebook and was just like, you are being gaslit. You realize that, right? Like, you're not the broken one in this situation. And I am not saying that I was like perfect. Oh no, I wasn't perfect by any means. But I kind of felt like Sister Ruth in a lot of situations. Nothing to do with falling in love or any of that stuff. Not that storyline, but just the situation of feeling trapped and everyone constantly like behind your back and to your face sometimes, like acting as though you don't belong there, and how alone you feel, and then how you're told that you don't participate properly in community when all of them treat you like a pariah. Like, that's not community. How are you supposed to function like that? You can't. I pretty much just cried nonstop. I think partly why I'm getting a little emotional about it, not only because of this film, is that I left right before Easter. So this time of year, it, like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, the anniversary of getting stabbed on Weathertop, it always hurt. Like, I have that right before Easter every year. It felt like being betrayed by people that you were supposed to be able to trust and depend on. I understand why Sister Ruth snapped and just, I didn't fall off a cliff. But I like to describe the year after I left the convent as feeling like I was a crystal bowl that had been dropped on the floor and smashed into 1,000 pieces, and no one came to help me put it back together. I was utterly alone. So while other people might watch it and go, oh, wow, what a dramatic ending. Ooh, she went crazy, huh? I looked at that character and said, that could have been me. That could have been me. Probably not what you were expecting in the review. I'm sorry. That got a little bit too personal. I don't know how much of that I will leave in. I went on for quite a while about my time in the convent. So this movie kind of brought some stuff up that I think I needed to say, even though I probably cut most of it out. So for that, I'm grateful. But ultimately, I don't recommend it because of the way that they were treating POC characters. It was not okay in any way. Not the way they did the makeup and not the way they talked about them. No. Kind of revolting in places. I almost started forwarding it. I think this might be a situation of read the book, don't watch the movie.